Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Drawn Talk. It's your boy Tyler. As you can see, we are in a new studio because all your guys' mean comments got to me and my wife. And when I came home, my wife was sick of hearing you guys talk about how our bed is never made and how we always have crap on our floor. So we're now in this closet studio and we're going to have a silly goose time. Now, real quick, let's just do some announcements. Thank you to the Patreons. For $1 or $5, you can support the Drawn Talk channel and help and get some exclusive comics and behind the scenes stuff. Thank you, Ro Lamb, Mobies, Leonard Cassiano, Andrew Rodriguez, John 3, Alan Ellsworth, Paul Tucker, Wendy Gale, Joshua Burris, Patrick Gerald, David Benson, Christopher Conkin, Allison McGlone. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. As well, here is oh my gosh, ad stream. This is Chef's Culinary Heroes Earth Force, coming soon 2021. I just finished the layouts for the 12-page free book that we're going to give out to kind of tease the universe. And then after that, we're going to be working on the graphic novel. I'm going to get it to you guys either February, March of 2021. And we'll be showing off progress. We'll be showing off progress art in writing of the book as we go along. And here is the infamous test panel where he's supposed to be fighting a spaghetti monster, and Justin Ori texted me and said, "Hey dude, your spaghetti monster looks like a penis." And I went, "Great, I can't use this panel in the book now, so thank you." So hopefully you guys are excited for that book. Really excited to get it out. And then thank you, Christopher C, Rhythm Studios, Wendy Gale, LP in the house, Ichthus, what is up, Total Excellence, Juke Joint, and then Verse Films Productions. What up? How are you guys doing? Remember, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We have two awesome guests on the show. We have Michael and Karshina from the Skits team. How are you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on?
It was awesome. Nice to be
World.
Drawn Talk. We are here. We are here. We have people in the chat going, "Where is my book?" LP's going, "Where is my book?" I don't know if you guys saw my tweet. I made a little music video yesterday on my video about Red Rooster, and I sang a nice song.
We did. We did see that. It did come across the multiverse. The multiverse.
It went a lot. It went a little farther than what I thought it was. I did it just for fun. I was like, oh, okay, let's start off this video. How should I start? Let's just do something funny. And then I posted on Twitter, and next thing I know, it had like thousands of views, and it reached over 10,000 people who I don't know. So hi everyone who knows me just from that.
Hey everybody in the chat. Oh, what's up, Rebel Gaming? Yes, come get some. He knows what's up. He knows what's up.
Dude, Larry's good people. Hey Larry, I'm gonna send you the link if you want to pop in, and we're gonna interview these fools. I'm gonna Facebook it to you. All right, so real quick, let me share my screen. Let's show off this video. Because guys, the Skits team, this is a nuts book. The reason why I say it's nuts is because I was in a stream with a couple other creators, and we were all like, how cool would it be if you did a choose your own adventure kind of comic? That'd be really fun. It's not possible. And then you guys come out with this crazy book, and what do you know? It's a choose your own adventure. It's a choose your own adventure. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Let me share my screen and get the audio. Let's see. This Indiegogo right there. Perfect. Oh, real quick. Larry, how you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Well, dude, we're about to talk about one of the craziest balls-tastic books on Indiegogo.
Let's do it.
Also, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being my co-host.
Well,
are you at work?
No, but I just got up and I'm topless, so that's why I'm not on camera.
Sexy.
Yeah,
We do have a straight jacket for that. So straight jacket.
Right over here. We grab it for you.
How you guys been? It's been a few minutes since we
It
talked.
has. Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Well, you know, I'm gearing up for a Kickstarter launch this week, probably on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a launch party, and so you guys are invited. Tyler's invited. You know, come on panel, hang out if you guys are available. But that's me. But this is you. Let's have a look here.
All right, let's play this video. Let's pray I did it right. If you guys can't hear it in the chat, let me know.
on Indiegogo in demand, and we're excited.
I can't put my finger in front of my face because when it's little screens, it just looks like it's blending in with my face. I'm like, what? One, yes, one.
That was
Skits this book one.
intense. You drawing everything traditionally. Holy crap.
Yeah, well, we actually have 3 different art styles in the book. We got traditional, just pencils and color, and then we got ink and color, and then we got a concept art style, which is all digital. So there's 3 different styles actually worked into the book.
And some paints, and all kinds of good stuff.
All types of cool stuff.
So I love this. I saw this with the arrows coming out. This shows. Is this showing the 3 different styles?
Well, the top 2 pieces there, those are the digital styles, and then digital painting styles, and then that one on the bottom is pencils and color. So that's 2 different styles.
I just would never know. This is so freaking good. So let's talk about this. We have to talk about this. It's a choose your own adventure. But I don't get it.
Well, let's just go into that elevator pitch real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
Skits is a book about a guy who can't tell the difference between his dreams and reality. Now, when we actually started to get interested in doing this book, we said, hey, we'd like to have some variant covers, but I'm the type of guy who won't buy variant covers. I just don't care, It's just not my thing. A lot of people do, not my thing. So I was like, well, what can I do to actually make it so I want to buy it? So I was just sitting there. I was like, well, it's easy. You get a variant cover. Why don't you do some variant insides? So I was just like, okay.
A lot of reasons why not to do a variant inside. It's a lot more work.
Well, actually, it isn't. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm doing 12 different pages of artwork that I'm spreading across the 3 books, and I'm doing 45 panels of different art spread across those 3 books. So amongst those pages and panels, you can craft different parts of the story. So each book will read just fine as a standalone, but if you buy all 3, you're getting different pieces and parts of story that's just adding to the great adventure that we have here.
Mm-hmm. So you can get Michael's cover A, or the Kent Williams cover B, or Patrick Reynolds cover C. And let's say on your page 45, it looks different from my page 45 versus somebody else's page 45. So you can't, say, oh, did you read that story? It's like, yeah, but I went by land. And it's like, well, I went by sea. No, I went by air.
So that was one of my questions is if I buy variant cover A and then Larry buys variant cover B, are we getting a different story?
Well, you're getting different parts of story. Yeah, I got 60 pages there. I'm not going to do a whole 60 pages differently. Like I said, it's going to have so many pages where it's like, okay, well, at this point, the story went this way. And then Larry will say, well, mine kind of went this way, but you still ended up at the same place. And I'm telling different parts. And the way the story kind of crafted, the way it came about was 20 years ago. I was working in a TV station. I was working the midnight to 8 a.m. shift, and my days and nights just started merging together, and I was not in a good place. So I started having these crazy dreams where day after day, my dreams, I just started having sequential dreams where the story would end, and then the next day it'd pick up where it ended. So I documented it. I wrote it down. Oh, wow. And there were different parts of the story where it's like, well, this happened over here, but then this was happening over here, but it was at the same time frame. So it's like, by doing this, I can actually tell those side stories that are happening, and show different parts of it where it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on, So now, and this is the interesting thing about this is I won't be able to ever reprint this, because the way that I'm doing different paneling and stuff like that, you can't reprint 3 different panels in the same spot in a book. This is the only way you'll ever be able to get this experience, So if I ever do a reprint later down the road, I could throw some extra pages in, that are in the other books, but I won't be able to put all those different panels. So this is the only way you can get this special stuff.
Now, each book reads as a standalone. So let's say you want to choose Michael's cover. Everybody asks, oh, what's the best one? What's the best story? It's like, they're all great. I mean, they're just phenomenal, top notch.
Yeah.
But if you chose Michael's and that's all you can afford, or that's the only one that you want, then it's great. You finished the journey, you're good to go.
Yep.
But to get the full experience, we're asking people to get that 3-book journey, because that is where that adventure goes on to.
Yep. This is such a marketing ploy. You guys can go jump off a cliff.
We need a link in the chat, Tyler. They're asking for the link for the Indiegogo, and I would like to get it too, so I can take a deep dive here.
Dude, I sent it to you. I'll send it to you in your Facebook chat. Just to put it in the chat, guys. I am just the marketing on this is just so smart. I mean, I have been looking at this campaign, and I was telling all my coworkers, and we're all talking about, okay, like, what if we each go in on a book? Because I was like, man, I don't have $85 to drop right now. He goes, I don't have $85. I was like, okay, what if we each go $25 in and we'll share it? And then we're like, well, my wife will, and I was like, well, screw your wife, we can do this. And, we'll team up together and we'll form a union. It's such a good freaking idea. And Justin Ori in the chat saying, brilliant idea. I thought about this with Tyler, but you all nailed it on how to execute it. Yeah, we were talking about it and we're just like, I don't know how one would do this. So, okay. So this is book 1 of 6. There's 6
Correct.
books.
Book 1 of 6.
If I get variant cover A and story A, will that affect what my story is like in book 2? I could get variant cover A in book 1, but variant cover B, and my journey is just going to be so much different than everyone else's. I'm so tired. Where's my water? It's over there.
It's definitely not going to leave you behind, but what it'll do is add insight. Okay, insight into what we're going to be doing later on down the road. So when you actually get all 3. And then you're into book 2 and 3 later on, you'd be like, oh, wait a minute, there was that thing in
it's
book
a total
and story
recall.
C where it kind of calls back and it's like, oh, this is what it was happening. This is what was going on. So it's stuff that will come up later on, but you won't miss out. It's just you'll have better insight into what's going on.
And the cool thing about what you said about if you can only get the 1 book, that's great. In the background, if you chose any of those individuals, you can always add an extra book. So, if you got $50 to splurge, you can get your A and C or A and B. But the 3-book journey, which is the featured one, gives you the Skits belly band, which is signed and numbered. The first one, the featured one. Yep. So that's an added incentive for everyone to get that as well.
That's also the only way you can get the book signed. We're doing that belly band, that wraparound where you get it signed and numbered and stuff. Yeah, right there.
Which nobody is doing but us. It's crazy team.
We were thinking, it's like, man, we want this to be like a high-end art book or something, So, we want everything to be really high quality, really good art. So it's like, let's just go ahead and give it a belly band. Let's wrap it around there, do it signed and numbered. So this is really the creme de la creme right here.
Would you, this is from Wendy Gale, would you say this is akin to the open world RPGs where the world is affected by the choices you make?
This can be similar, but no, if you're going to go to the door, you're going to go to the door. Whether you ask the shopkeeper, hey, can I get a potion? That's up to you, but you're still going to go to the door and still going to ask a question. So you're totally fine with that.
Yeah, these type of questions really need to be directed to my wife because she's the gamer in the family.
E3, baby, E3.
I haven't really played a game. The last game I think I played might have been Halo 2.
No, we played Stratego.
Well, no, that's a board game. I'm talking about.
I know. I'm trying to give him props. You lift up your husband. You lift him up.
There you go.
You lift him up.
But here's the thing, though. I have worked on video games. I've worked on the Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth. I actually did illustrations for the interface and stuff like that. So
there you go.
Yeah, so I like working on video games. I've never really played video games that much.
Too much.
So.
Justin Dutton here is saying, Tyler, I'm back twice, so if you want, I can give you a copy. I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna figure out a way. But Justin's a big fan of you guys. He's actually
Justin.
I know you guys. Allison McGlone, I thought about this kind of thing with a webcomic that you could choose how the story progresses at certain points, but then it just gets into this like web. Like, here's the thing. like Larry, I don't know, Larry, if you're still here, what do you, I mean, with variant covers, essentially, these guys have made it so that instead of buying 6 books, you buy 18 books to get this full on epic story. What do you think about that?
I think it sounds ambitious, man. I don't know if I can do it because you're saying like each variant cover is going to be its own sort of separate thing of the dream, right?
Well, it just gives you a little added something. It's like each book, you can read them just fine on their own. But if you only read one, then later on down the road, you'll get into things and you won't know that there were little callbacks before. Where it's like, but it's not going to affect how you read the overall story.
So,
Okay,
like,
but
Larry,
let me ask you this.
I'll have 3 pages on my book that you won't have, and you'll have 3 pages in your book that I won't have. But
the rest of it will be exactly like let's say Tyler gets cover A, I get cover B. Me and Tyler essentially have the same book with a few minor changes. Is that what it is?
With some scene differences.
Yes.
You're eating a strawberry. He's not, but at the very end, you're still at the market. Same deal. You go into the market.
Here's how it is. There's 4 extra pages in each book that aren't in the other ones, and there's 15 different panels that's not in the other books. So each book has those 4 pages and 15 panels that are different than other ones. So there's little different stories and timelines and stuff going on.
Which is why it's brand new. People are like mind blown because it hasn't been done. You get a variant cover. It's the same story. Variant cover, same story.
People are like
variant covers and storylines. People are like, what?
Well, here's the thing. People are like, oh, we love to buy variant covers. And then we're like, well, we gave you some variant inside pages. And they're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
It's like, it's better because there's story. You're getting more story and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny reading the chat because we have like Wendy saying, really have to be great at the story web to do this. My mind doesn't quite work that way. Chuck's absolutely does. A lot of other comments are like how all of us are spinning our heads trying to figure out this thing that shouldn't work, and yet it does. Also seeing a lot of people trying to figure out how they're going to get this because Alice McGlone, I need to figure out how to afford this. We got Ridley Studios.
Allison.
I wonder how much my soul is worth. If I can get $85 for it, I'm buying the books. I'm with you on this. I'm gonna have to make a PSA. Everyone, besides a couple other books that I have decided I'm gonna buy the rest of the year because I know they're coming out. I might just be a side creators. I put all my monies into this book.
Well, here's the thing about this book. Just kind of like as you guys have been talking, I've been kind of skimming through the page here. I mean, the art is something else. I mean, this looks like, some gorgeous painted, like, I don't know, like you said, some of it was digital, but some of this looks like, hand-drawn, traditional, blood, sweat, and tears sort of artwork here that reminds me of stuff that you could see, like almost a European flair, like you might see in like Heavy Metal magazine, that sort of thing.
Yeah, here's my influences. I'm really big into the fantasy art of like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, stuff that was like heavy metal, but also creepy, eerie, Vampirella, the old Warren magazines. And then also I'm a huge fan of manga. So, I got a few different things going on here, where I was like, okay, I'm going to draw all this information into me and let's see what happens. But even though I am doing pretty much everything is digital colors, what I've done is I do a lot of abstract, non-representational paintings. And what I do is I scan those in and I use those as the base to start all my coloring. That makes it look really nice and analog.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it look like it's done traditionally with acrylics or something like that, So I want it to have that look and I want it to have that feel. So that's why I've done that, That's my goal. And if I've done that, then that's great,
Now, here's the thing. I've known you guys for a little bit here now, and this is the first time I've actually heard about this project. So, Tyler, thank you for bringing it to everyone's attention. And the second thing here is you guys have done extremely well. I don't know how long this has been up, but you're at 17 grand, man.
I know.
Congratulations,
it's like I'm coming in at like the very end. Like, don't worry, I'm bringing awareness to this project. We have almost 200 people here.
Yeah.
Who have
but
backed
the
it.
thing about indie comics is that there's lots of cool things out there. Not everyone is going to know everything, right? And even though I've seen these fine folks on their channels multiple times,
thank you.
I didn't know you guys had a project going on. So
that's the thing is that's why that like Larry, something you said last year, and like I mean it resonates with the two of us, is I'll talk to anyone. Like that's what you would say. I'll talk to anyone, as we were both getting banned from several groups.
Right.
And the reason this is why you talk to everyone is because if you talk to everyone, you're gonna meet a ton of people that you don't know, and you're gonna find comic book lovers and books that you had no idea. I didn't know about this until I went on Shade's show, and then Michael popped up, and then Justin was like, they have a book, and I'm like, they have a book? What is this? And then he reached out to me, and then I finally looked at it, and I was like, oh my gosh. But had I not gone on Shay's show, and had I not met Justin and we talked, I would never have known about this.
Had you not gone on your adventure, you wouldn't have got to our adventure, so we can finally get to
exactly. Wendy Gale's asking, how many days left on the campaign? Chuck, better close that wallet. Wendy's gonna take your money. Their husband and wife.
Yeah, actually, we're in demand right now. It just went in demand. What is it?
About a couple weeks ago.
A few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep it in demand until we're actually done with the book itself. Until we actually go to ship and all that.
So don't hurt him, Hammer.
We're almost at halfway.
Nice.
Almost at halfway. So yeah, it's got each. It's 60 pages plus. So it might.
And that's each book. That's each book,
not the individual.
Not individual.
Each book has 60 pages. I know some people are like, oh, so it's only 20 pages, and each. I'm like, no, it's
60 plus pages. Yes.
60 plus pages.
Well, there you go. So you're paying, So if you get all 3 books, you're getting 180 pages.
That is bang for the buck. That is correct. And you get the signed and numbered skits band if you get that featured tier. That's the only way to get that as well. So
yeah, that's the only way the books are getting signed is in that tier. So
Verse Films Productions, welcome to the channel. Mind blown because no one is doing this. Allison McGlone, I absolutely love everything with this idea. Rusty Dale, very vibrant artwork. I love the artwork. It gave me like a daytime version of like Dave McKean's Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I modeled a lot of the stuff going on in this. The 3 different art styles is back to the Dave McKean, Kent Williams, all those big guys from the 80s and 90s who are doing those painted type books. That's exactly what I wanted to do with this, is to have that. So Dave McKean, boom, I love it.
I'm not gonna lie, this sounds so judgmental, but I'm gonna say it. Is when you hit me up, I went, okay, let me check out their book, and I saw the covers and I went, oh, these are really scary. This couple is twisted. They're weird. They're trouble.
Well, that happens at the 11 o'clock hour.
I mean, it's called skits. It's like we got schizophrenic, we got short stories, skits. There you go.
Well, and then you got this perk. Let's talk about this perk, which no one's grabbed.
No, but Larry can get it if he's still topless. He's got that straight jacket strap.
Larry, you got $1,000 to drop on a straight jacket.
Oh God, no.
It's authentic, and they are the real deal. They're not from Halloween Town. They're not.
This is the real deal. This is actually what they would use in the hospital. They don't use them anymore because they're considered inhumane.
But this is what Karshina puts on Mike before bed every night. She knows it works.
It's right here. It's right here.
They can't see it.
Oh, they can't see it? Wait, there.
Oh,
there it is. There it is.
The real deal, man.
Look, wait, and I even give him some bling bling with it too.
There you go.
That's so disturbing.
I want to know who the girl is with the star on her boots. I think she's for me.
Oh, Tyler has to scroll down for that one. Go ahead. Scroll up, Tyler. There you go.
Her?
Slowly.
No. Keep going.
Keep going.
There we go.
There it is.
Larry.
Go, dude.
Well,
I have those boots, by the way. So just FYI, I have those boots.
Yeah, that's Josephine. She's one of the characters.
Yeah. So our characters are Skits, which is in the straitjacket always. We have MC, which is the big guy. If you saw in that video, he was the one that was standing really tall.
Yeah, he's about 12 foot tall. So
yeah, and then we have Psalm. Josephine is in there, and then we also have Hattie Mae.
Yep.
And Hattie Mae is the character that's the Kent Williams cover B, and that is Hattie Mae.
Gotcha. This is so Larry. What do you think?
Man,
she your type?
What's that?
She your type?
She well, I like boots, so yeah, she's in.
Yeah, say boots or boobs.
Well, both.
Both. I agree.
Both.
Those
no
boots
booty
scare
boots to
me.
boobs.
No,
Those
I
boots
like a
scare
good
me.
hot female lead. I mean, come on, I do a book called Niobe, right? Like, it's
Exactly. I don't get these boots though, and I see girls wear them. I just don't get how you can bend past the knee.
It's very easy.
It's a little baggy in the knee area. It's that way you can bend your knees. That's just how they make it.
We're gonna sell this book on boots alone now. See, Allison says those boots are awesome.
Well, funny you mentioned that. Boot is a character in Skits. It's an actual character in Skits. Yes.
Larry saying he just back. Rithen, how much did you sell your soul for?
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Justin
says he's a big fan of yours. He says Skits team is one of my best buddies.
Yep, we love. Well, he's going by Dutton now, isn't it? Come on, Justin. You need to let me know. I'm not in on the privies and stuff. I knew you back when you were Justin. Now you're just Dutton. So, yeah, Dutton? We're a huge fan. We're a big fan of Dutton. And we got the teddy bear coming. We backed him on that teddy bear
for
tier,
Unstitched, which we just had Jason Brubacher on our show. Who did a cover for Justin. So, yeah, it's going around full circle. Yep. And we love it. So.
Rithen Studios only 25. My soul was cheap.
That's all good. That's all good. Like we said, each book is a standalone, so you can read it and still get through that journey.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I love that. It's if anything, you're just giving the consumers just the option. Like, if I want variant cover A, you'll give me variant cover A. But if someone who's like, man, I want all three, you're giving them the option to get all three. Larry's the reason why I did a variant cover in my last campaign. I'd never done one before, and he's like, Tyler, people want these, and they like it.
I stirred you in the wrong direction,
dude. You have 8 variant covers on your next
Niobe
campaign.
Looks awesome.
I counted them last night at midnight when you texted me.
Dude, I got an addiction. I got a problem. I don't recommend that to everybody.
That was the first thing.
It's like they just said. The Skits team said, "Hey, we don't need a ton of variants," and you don't. No one needs to be like me and have like 1,800 variants. Okay, I just have a problem.
Larry messages me last night at midnight. He's like, "You're probably not up," but my baby was crying, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm up." And I'll show you something. And he sent me his Kickstarter link, the preview. And the first thing I did was I was like, "Okay, let's count how many variant covers," because he kept going, "Hey, I've got another variant cover. Want to see the art? Hey, I got another variant cover. You want to see the art?" And I was like, I lost track. So I was like, oh, the Kickstarter's page. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you did it by cover A, B. So I had to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 8.
8. That's crazy.
Were you guys? Well, let's talk about crazy. You two. What made you? Because like, a lot of creators, obviously,
my mind's blown.
A lot of people will think, I want to choose your own adventure, whatnot. But then when it's time to sit down and do the work, it gets overwhelming, and you go, like screw this. Was it why did you feel like this was how you needed to tell the story?
Well, again, I just went back to that thing where I was like, I wanted variant covers, but I just didn't want to do a variant cover with nothing different, So I just had to figure out, put the marketing cap on and say, well, what can I do to make it more interesting for people? And I was like, well, I got these stories that I'm going to have to cut out because it doesn't go with the flow necessarily. So why don't I just put those into the other books that way, and then we'll just meld it a little bit and show why these things are happening in the different books, hence the different panels. And there you go. It's really just that simple. I was like, I want these variant covers because we got some really good artists on there. We got Kent Williams, legend, and then we also got Patrick Reynolds, who I'm a huge fan of. He just does amazing work. So I was just like, bam, let's do it that way.
And it's about your dreams, and you can't tell the difference between the reality and dreams. And everyone dreams. I don't care if you can't remember them, you still dream. So these books are always evolving, always changing. So that's why when you can choose which one you want to go to, it's like, well, what part of the dream do I want to tell? Or do I want to tell this much of the dream, So it's actually a pretty fun way to talk about dreams as well. So, which are Michael's dreams, and I'm just editing the dreams.
Well, you can only do so much.
Do you ever like edit the dreams and you're like kind of like, I sleep next to this guy?
Well, because I'm an insomniac, so I mean, I guess.
Do you ever just like want to get the pillow and just go, okay? Wendy Gale said, how long did it take from story idea to production?
Well, I had these dreams right when I got out of college, when I was working at the TV station, which was 20 years ago. So from then till now is how long I've been mulling on it, playing with it, sketching it out in my sketchbooks. I mean, I got piles of sketchbooks and work from, years past of this idea, and it's just now coming to fruition. So 20 years, how you like that?
Well, it took a marriage. So bam, that's the easiest answer.
20 years.
It took a marriage. So there you go.
So basically, Karshina, you should be at the top because without you, this thing was just going to stay in a sketchbook.
I mean, I'm just not going to be not in the book.
well, actually, let's just tell a little bit. 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I actually started turning this into a book. I was doing floppies, just little 24-pagers. I did 3 of those, but the problem is there was no one to sell it to. There's nowhere to sell it back then. There was no Kickstarter. There's no Indiegogo.
Enter me.
Yeah, there was no GoFundMe's. There was nothing. It's all you had to do. All you had to do was actually go into chat rooms and stuff and talk to people and try and get them to buy your book.
Or go to like a store, which we did, and
sell
said,
them
hey,
to individual stores.
I know you. Can you sell my boyfriend's book? And they were like, yeah, okay.
So, I mean, there's probably about 15 of those floating around, those 1, 2s, and 3s. So
Gotcha.
Is this your first Indiegogo?
Yes, it's my first Indiegogo. It's my first crowdfunding, but she's done crowdfunding before for
what
movies,
have you crowdfunded before, Karshina?
Well, let's see. No, I have, so Verse Films Productions out there. I am their boss. Thank you so much for joining us. We've done some horror films. So it's a horror production company. And so we've got a couple of things crowdfunded as well. I got some movie premieres out there in LA from where I have done a lot of these. And some really good stuff going on, winning awards and things of that nature. So it was not my first rodeo in the crowdfunding scene, but it's my first rodeo for the comic crowdfunding scene. It's a beast. There's so much that's out there. The same thing with films. Everything is saturated. So what makes you stand out? So like for us, this is what makes us stand out. No one has heard about this. Everyone's mind blown. They're like, what's going on? Same thing with our stretch goals. And we've got the upgraded interiors, upgraded exteriors, and then we also have the updates. We have a Skits adjustable paper puppet bookmark. Say that 4 times. And our bookmark, a Skits adjustable paper puppet bookmark.
Oh gosh.
It's not just a bookmark. It's not just a little square. It's actual and adjustable bookmark. So.
It's at the top of the page. If you go to the updates, there's the update tab. That's where we got that stuff.
And then we also have a Skits craft mask. Keep going up. There it is. That's it.
Yeah.
That is the paper puppet bookmark. Yeah. So our bookmark is likened into Skits. There's his straight jacket. There's boots. There's the whole attire, and as you can see with the nice Vanna Black right there with the nice book, you see that Skits' head is popped up, and you can adjust the arms to whatever page that you left off on or whatever. So it's an actual adjustable bookmark. So no one is doing that but us. So we're really excited to stand out as well. So.
Man, Larry, people are getting intense with their stretch goals. I've seen lunch boxes. I'm seeing hats. Justin Dutton did a freaking teddy bear. We have adjustable bookmarks. Dude, what are you and I doing?
Nothing. I call them tchotchkes, right? My tchotchkes are pretty simple. They're bookmark. Well, I haven't done a bookmark yet, but it's like a postcard, a button, a couple of mini prints. But yeah, I mean, listen, there was one guy that was giving out like a full out like skull looking helmet made out of leather, like Tales of Nocturnia or something. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, I saw that. And they had like a wooden puzzle that was like part of the story. And here I'm like, hey guys, we just unlocked the 3rd trading card because that's the only thing I like because I'm really into the trading cards still.
But you're right, like in the sense that the stretch goals are becoming a little bit more unique. They're becoming a little bit more tailor made to the projects, and that's cool. I mean, if you're getting something different than the usual norm, right? That everything that these guys are doing is a little bit different than what everyone else is doing, with the 4 different pages that could be different in each book, the stretch goals, the art styles, and clearly is successful. 17 grand in demand, still lots of time left to jump on this. And obviously they have a lots of experience in the in the entertainment industry. I've talked with these guys before. I know that you're big in the gaming, the whole E3 scene. And I might want to.
There it is. There's my E3.
Right. So you guys know what you're doing, and hats off to you.
Thank you so much. That's a big compliment. Thank you so much. We're just trying to stand out. It is our first campaign together. And we just don't want to just come out like, hey, you don't know us, buy our book. We want to be like, hey, get to know us, buy our book, know our story, and hey, come along for the ride with us because it's a crazy ride.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing that with a lot of it's crowdfunds. It's like because there is so many books now, like you really have to do something. You have to be doing something that's gonna make people go, oh, like that other book is not doing that. I mean, well, Larry, you have freaking like a Witchblade artist doing art for you, and then you had like awesome variant covers. I have trading cards that
which are awesome because if that's what people love, that's what people love. So market it.
What they want.
Give the people what they want.
With the variant covers, they cost they're not cheap. So if I don't do well on the next Kickstarter, if I don't get some of that money back, that might be the last time you see
But you have your store, dude, and it's doing really well.
Yeah, the web store has made me $1,000 so far,
You're
which
welcome.
is more than I make at a local show. So yeah,
nice.
You've made that much? I told you about Gumroad, and you made more than me already.
Well, I sold one of the 9.8 CGC books on there for $120, so that added.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So
there you go. Well, I'm looking at my next campaign is Culinary Heroes Earth Force, a superhero book, but about food superheroes and food villains. So I mean, we're getting aprons with like the logo as one of the stretch goals, and there's a recipe in every single book. There's recipes of the different like villains and whatnot, and the foods that the characters eat. So yeah, I think it's just all about. One thing I like about this is it's fun. You guys are fun. The books are fun. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's do this.
Well, that's one of the things that Wendy has said in the chat, that she loves how animated they are, and this is the thing, the come get some, right?
Come get some,
right? That right there is half the reason you guys are successful, right there. On top of all the talent and stuff, it's the energy that you guys bring to each and every show that actually gets people watching, and it's this just sort of like go-getter, positive, like it's like you said, come get some, man. Like I love it.
And like Larry, I watched some of these streams because since COVID, everyone's streaming now. Everyone. And some people are just like, hey, everyone, so just cruising, and I got my books, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I have to listen to this, I'm gonna kill myself.
Back my book.
But it's really good. And I'm like, oh my gosh, try, I'm a pretty, everyone at work, people at work will look at this and, oh my gosh, Tyler, like your show, you're really animated when at work. And I'm like, hey, what do you want? I'll look at people just like, what do you want? Do we need to be talking right now?
Where's that PCP report?
Well, the thing is that if you're not excited about your product, then why would anybody else would be?
I know you're the number one person. You need to be excited about it. You need to get out there and get in people's faces because no one else will. If you ain't, no one else will.
Exactly.
Let's see. Do the aprons have spaghetti? The aprons have a spaghetti penis.
Whoa.
Well, that's from my. I don't know if you've seen it, Larry. You might have.
I seen the. I seen it. It looks like a weird spaghetti tentacle monster trying to get its fix.
Yeah, something like that. Let's see.
Will the apron have spaghetti straps?
Yeah, spaghetti straps.
Well, that's
go.
sexy.
See,
I've never done anything like my wife and I have been planning out this campaign for a bit, so we're really trying. I mean, we haven't even made the book yet, but we're really trying to figure out the fun stuff for it. With the skits book, guys, the art is just incredible. How long does it take you to do something like this, man?
If you're talking about that one page right there with the flags flying, that's about a 6 hour piece.
Jeez. That's 6 hours.
Don't hurt him, Hammer. Don't hurt him.
Yes,
that's 6 hours.
Yeah, the one next to it was probably about 8 hours. That was a little tougher, for some reason. But
and the foliage.
Yeah.
So, are you guys planning on doing? I just spat everywhere. I was like, do you guys plan on doing a book a year? You think?
Yeah, well, probably about every 9 months or something like that.
Okay. That's the goal.
That's what we'd like to do. But really, this was the first one, and we were just like, well, let's see if people are even interested, if they even buy it, because no one knows us from anybody. We're just here. We're just some schmoes trying to do something and get.
I'm a schmoet. Thank you, schmoet.
But
don't misgender.
But now that we know that people actually like it, maybe we can ramp it up a little bit. We'll see once we get to the second one. So
gotcha.
Yeah, because our goal is we don't want everyone to wait for so long. We want them to have the books in hand, so that way when you've done your adventure or you've done your 3-book journey, you're on to the next journey. Yep. You're on to the next, what else is going on, the skits universe, the skits world, because it's exciting, and we're excited to give it out to everyone.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, the whole book, all 6 books are already written, ready to go.
Already
we just got to do the artwork for it.
So basically, we're waiting on you, Michael.
I got a regular job. I mean, 17 grand is awesome, but it ain't gonna make you stop your regular job so you can do this. So we thank you, and you will get your book, but we got to keep it churning.
For sure. Here's the thing, though: if this is your guys' first book, it's only up from here. If it's down, it means no one liked the first book. But
those are real things. Those are real things.
Well, I mean, I put out my Demons Volume 3, and I lost half my backers. So I was like, okay, I guess you guys didn't like the second one. Okay, we're done with this series.
Demon haters.
So that's just something that I think it's smart that you guys let's try this first one. But you came out with a really unique idea. Which is something that a lot of people aren't doing. I was talking with a friend. They were like, "Oh, who you have on your show tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, the Skits team." They're like, "Oh, what's their shtick?" And I told them, and he's like, "Oh, well, this is kind of like how he's like, I've never seen that before, except when people tried killing Jason Todd over the phone." That was about it. But now I'm curious. And Larry, what do you think? Do you think that you would? I'm not saying do the extent that the Skits team is doing, but maybe have a pivotal moment, and then the last 2 or 4 pages of your book is different per variant cover. Is that something you could ever see yourself possibly doing with Niobe, an alternate ending per variant cover? Not all 8 variant covers, but maybe 2.
No. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out how I would if I were to do it without it being this is the direction I'm going.
Well, it'd be similar to what the movie Clue. If you ever seen the movie Clue, and if you ever, actually seen the movie, there's 3 different various endings that it could have went this way, it could have went that way. Who done it? Like a who done it type mystery.
My fear would be what if someone bought the alternate ending, and then it totally F's up issue 2 because we killed someone in the second one, but they're but they're alive in the first one. And
that's why we stayed away from variant endings. Okay,
gotcha.
It all comes to one ending, but there's just variant ways to get to that ending.
Unless you're a soap opera where you can always come back in a dream sequence. I love skits. Dream sequence.
So or come back as a twin. So basically, man, I wonder how many dream books we're going to start seeing after this, and people trying to copy it. It's flattery, if anything.
Well, I mean, that's
is.
how you know you got something that's hot, is like when everyone else starts to try and do it after you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a few people actually say, "Oh, I thought about doing that, but I didn't do it." I was like, "Oh, well, we did it." So.
I love it. Chat.
I know, we've had several.
Those of you in the chat, we have Drawing Aces, Verse Films, Rhythm Studios, Pencil for Life. It's my boy Brad Ashworth. If you guys have any questions, please let us know in the chat. Larry, do you have any questions for these guys?
No, but for Brad, where's Handyman?
Where is my boo?
Where's my boo?
He just posted a page. He's working on it hardcore right now.
Okay.
Says,
I just haven't heard an update on it for a while. And I know Brad had some issues there, family, tragedies and that sort of stuff. So I never wanted to bug him or pressure him, but since he's in there, I figure I would shout out the question.
Yeah. No, if you follow his Twitter lately, it's like a new page a day. He's doing like 3 or 4 pages a day, and he traditionally pencils, inks, and colors all of it. So yeah. So those of you who are wondering where Handyman is, go follow Brad on Twitter. He's posting artwork up the wazoo
nice
lately.
Sweet.
which is awesome. Real quick, let's see. I need to figure out. I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on. We normally don't do current events, but I thought I wanted to talk about this. It's nothing scandalous. I promise.
Scandalous. Scandalous.
Okay, let's see. Let me just type it in. Jason Fabich.
I'm nervous. Tyler starts talking that way.
Is it about my Afro puffs? Is that scandalous? Is that my Afro puffs?
Is it about my receded
puffs?
hairline?
do you Christina, are you scared that Michael's gonna lose all of his hair?
He's not. I got all kinds of weaves. I got all kinds of wigs. I got all kinds of things.
I just shaved it. I ain't afraid of it. I can care less.
So I lived in Africa for 2 years, and let me tell you something. No one prepped us for the culture because I learned what a weave was and like wigs because we were teaching. I was there on an LES mission. I was teaching a lady, and she had this like her normal, really, really short hair, like my hair. And then we went there the next day, and she had like Beyonce length, and I was like, "How did she grow that so fast?"
She had the little pump up shoes like the Reeboks, and she's
and I just remember being like, "Excuse me." How did your hair get like that? And she's like, "Oh, you're so white. It's a weave." And I'm like, "What's a weave?" They go, "How long are you going to be in Africa?" I'm like, 2 years. They go, "Well, you better learn what a weave is."
Let me ask you something.
Oh, they're extensions. Excuse me, they're extensions for the other people.
You went all the way to Africa to find that out?
You didn't know like on Crenshaw?
You live in,
well, it's funny because all the all African American girls in my high school never wore weaves.
Oh, does you think?
Yeah. Hey, let me just say, man.
What is wrong with you?
I went to a school that we had about 5,000 students, and about 60-70% were black. And I tell you, man, there was always them fights going on. Them black girls were swinging, and them weaves were just flying, man. You get them ripped out, they go flying one this way, one that way, pieces, parts. Man, you didn't go to a good school unless you had some of that going on.
But this is what you call natural, okay?
Yeah.
Because my little natural puffs, my little natural coils and curls, you put a little gel in it.
I don't let her put no
but yeah, I mean,
she ain't getting no
everybody who's been in the industry, I mean, everybody has a wig, a weave, an extension.
Yeah, so when I learned that, I was like, Nicki Minaj's hair's not real.
No, it's real to her because she bought and paid for it. It's like $2,000. You better believe it's real. They wash it, they shampoo it, they sew it in, or they clip it in. Trust, it is real to them. So.
Wendy Gale asks, "What is your guys' main form of marketing? What tends to work best for you?"
I'll take this one, honey. We did this whole sell the sizzle per se. We were out and about like last year, like around the same time, September, October, and we just put up artwork. We said we introduced ourselves. We tried to introduce ourselves to the chat. We try to say hello to everyone in the community. We try to be like, hey, we have a new book that's coming out, on our mailing list. And when people start getting to know us, start finding out like, oh, wow, Michael's got talent. She's really cool. Here's your little show. Come get some, and that we know what our stuff is. People start to take notice, and just our personality is really meshed with a lot of people. So that marketing really helped us by just doing that before we dropped it. We didn't just come out the gate and be like, oh my God, who are we? And then buy my book. We were like, hey, we got a book coming out pretty soon. Hopefully you guys will like it. That whole
So you guys started marketing yourselves and the idea first before just being like, boom, we're on the scene and we got a book.
Exactly. So like 6 months before, 7 months. Yeah, before.
Definitely. And we wanted to get so many people on our mailing list, and we reached a certain point, and that was cool. But mainly it was just talking to people. It's about relationships, talking to people, all those types of things. I just think is the most important. Go into chat rooms, start being around, talk to people. It's
a full-time job.
It is, and it's starting to listen to what people are looking for, what people are like. Oh, I've done this, or someone else has done this, and it's like the same old, same old. So we're like, great, let's see how we can rearrange it. And also, even with our Skits Comic YouTube channel, a lot of people were subscribing because I did reviews. Michael was interviewing artists and talking about what they liked, what they did. Finding out the good, the bad, the ugly, side of things. So we learned a lot. And when Michael does his posts for his drawing, like he's revealing like pages a day. Like he's like, this is actual page 1. And people are missing out on it. So they're like, oh, what is page 1? What is it about? And it's like, well, if you watch my YouTube channel, I literally said, this is page 1. I drew it before your very eyes, like in the hours that he told you. But we're actually getting people interactive with us. We want people to be there. So when you do actually get the book in your hand and you go, oh, this was that page 1 that he was talking about. Whoa. Mm-hmm. Right? So we wanted people to be interactive with us as well. So, and yes, they will be in Gemini mailers. Thank you.
I think that's huge. I mean, one thing with like my previous campaigns, I've just been like, hi, I'm Drawn Talk, and I make comics, and then I'm like, bam, I hit you with an Indiegogo, and there's been like no prep time. I mean, if I think for this last one, I gave everyone like a month. I was like, hey, everyone, I have a book, and it's gonna be done a month, and it worked. And I think right now I'm like, okay, I know my book's gonna come out in February or March. Let's just start getting some initial artwork right now. And let's just, for the next 6 months, talk about it. So by the end, people are like, oh yeah, we've seen this book. It's time to mobilize. With Larry is always talking about Niobe. You always know that Larry, like when you go Larry Higgins, Rebel Comics, no, it's Niobe. I mean, look at his icon.
There you go. Exactly.
Chibi Niobe.
Who drew that chibi?
Yeah, I mean, I might probably do it. I don't know. I mean, I might promote too much. But I talked to an editor once. He's like, if you think you're promoting too much, you're not promoting hard enough, man.
Dude, you're like that. Like you have like DC and Marvel guys, and they're just like issue 5 of my book, and I'm like, I didn't even know issue 1 like was around. What are you talking about? Like they don't talk. A lot of them don't talk about their book. So, I mean, most people when they go Larry, I hear them go, oh yeah, Niobe. Which is funny because during that stream with Terrence, you were like, my name's Larry. I'm the creator of Niobe, bitch. And
and we also invite people to our show. Like it's a fun thing to like help the next person. And it's not always about me. And it's like, great, we'll add in like a skits comic at the end of our show, or at the beginning, and that's about it. But if we're inviting you to the show or if someone asks to be on our show, either the Skits Funhouse or for Come Get Some, is like, we want to hear about your book because that's how we help promote. That's how we help get the word out, because our small channel, you never know who's in our channel. Someone can drop that $25, you know what I mean, on your book that appeals to them. So we're always promoting that as well. Just like Justin Dutton. We're like, Justin!
I mean, we had Jason Brubacher on earlier today on the Skits Funhouse, and we just sat there. Talked to him about that the whole time, where he came from, what's he been up to. I had some of his pages, and I went through his pages, how I thought that he was making them, and we talked about that, about the process, just because I'm an artist. That's the thing that I'm interested in. may not be what most people are interested in, but it's
Frick,
what
you got Jason Brubacher. Let's talk with. You're gonna talk shop with them.
Exactly. So it's like, so that's what we did, and it was all about him and his book. So
I talked with Rodney Barnes for Philadelphia and some other people that I've got some big names for. And, and he was like, thank you so much for not asking about Boondocks. I was like, well, yeah, I'm not. But thank you very much for Philadelphia. Well, I used to be on Everybody Hates Chris on an episode, and he wrote that episode. And so it became full circle. I was like, remember that time? And he's like, oh, yeah. But, and on our shows, like I promote a lot of other things too, because I am in the industry, the failing, sad industry. No, but we're coming out of it. I talk to cinematographers. I talk to other people, writers. I talk about music a lot. Michael talks about music a lot. So we do different things that interest different people. If we can bring it back to a comic review, that's great. But if you're an artist out there that's doing finger paints, turkey sandwiches, whatever, I will, turkey hands, yes, then that's something for you,
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. If you guys have any other questions in the chat, please let us know. Let's talk about this real quick. This is, don't worry, it's not too scandalous. This is Jason Fabich. He's the artist of the Batman 3 Jokers. I don't know if you guys have read it. I bought it. I think, Larry, I saw a picture of you. You bought it.
I have it, but I haven't read it yet. I'll probably read it next weekend when I go into work.
Dude, you got to read it. It was so good.
I mean, when I haven't bought Batman in like forever, and I bought it because the cover reminded me of The Killing Joke, and the art inside looked like The Killing Joke, and Jeff Johns had written it, and I'm like, I hear nothing but good things about Jeff Johns as far as his writing style and stuff. So I took a gamble on Batman and bought a book.
Jason Fabich is an incredible artist, and this was one of the I've bought some Jeff Johns books. This is definitely like. It's top notch. It's such a good story. But this is funny because Larry, you didn't talk much on that stream last night about retailers.
Well, what really wasn't my stream. That was between Varian and Mike. I was just kind of there like a fly on the wall. Yeah.
Just in case they're like, Larry, what do you think of this? But talking about retailers, so Jason Fabich, he went in to do a signing, and then he left, and then he learned from some people that the store was charging people like $50 minimum to get a signed comic from him. And he told everyone, and he told the store, I just want $10 after, I'll sign the first 2 books for free, and then on the 3rd book, I'll charge $10. And he found out because fans were like, wait, $10? I paid $75 for you to sign 2 books, and he totally went on like this like rampage where like that was totally jacked up. But what do you guys think? Let's see. Yeah, it's a package for let's see. Yeah, so it's $50 to get those 2 signed, $75 to get those signed, $125 to get those all signed. And yeah, I'm like, what do you guys think about that? Like charging for signatures like that, and then the store being the one who is charging, because I mean, I was listening to a stream last night, and retailers they're struggling, but at the same time you do got to be nice to your customers. I think it's outrageous. What do you guys think?
Well, there's always going to be those shops that do kind of sketchy things.
Shiesty shops.
Where I grew up, there was always one shop where everyone was like, hey, don't go there because they'll screw you. But the funny thing is they were always in business. They were always able to weather the tough storms in the industry. And it's because they charge those big prices, first of all, for like variant books, and just crazy prices. And then, but they always told you, oh, your books are worth a ton of money. We love you. Your books are, and then the other shops were like, yeah, it's really not worth that much. So which shop do you want to go to? The shop that tell you your books are worth a lot, or the shop where they say your books aren't worth that much? Yeah. So it's one of those things. I mean, what do you want? And a lot of people like to have their skirts fluffed a little bit, so.
I see it as when you go to, or in the olden days when it was Comic-Con,
olden
days, the golden oldies, where you would have, or any convention where you would have the artists, at their table, and they would charge, your $10, $25 or up to whatever the name is, just for them to sign that book. So what is that difference then? Because it's a convention that you pay like thousands of dollars to get to that convention, just to put out another $50 more,
or at least 50,
just to get,
or at least $50 just to get in the place.
Right. Plus, but I'm saying, so that difference, the retail shop is like, hey, no more conventions, but we actually have the guy here. Never he mind that he said only $10, but we got to keep the lights on to get him in that chair, to sit his butt down, to use that pen, to do all that stuff. It's a bit much. And I think you should, for face value, say, hey, he's only charging $10. That would have brought in a ton of people, because $10 is what is Burger King right there. You know what I'm saying? You can get that Whopper special. Seriously,
now I kind of want
cheese. Double Whopper with cheese.
You can get that Whopper special for $10. So it's like, do I eat for this convention or do I get a sign? I can always get a sandwich, right?
Well, and that $10,
it's high charging though.
And that $10 was just going to go to Jason, the artist. So they're probably like, flip, like we gotta make some extra money to stay to keep the lights on.
Thing, $50 to sign for a signed book is ludicrous. Let's just start off with that one. This guy coming in and signing some books, did he do it like underneath the goodness of his own free will? Like I don't understand part of the story here.
He's just going through his hometown. He's just going to different comic book shops to promote the book.
Right. So he's just like, hey, I'll come in your shop. I'll sign some books. Basically, that kind of says that he was doing it for free. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then the shop turned around and tried to.
And then he said, I'm doing it for free, but I'll just, give me $10 on the third book as a tip.
Right. Well, Jeff Lemire, he was in the area. He came by to the shop. He called the shop. He's like, look, I'm in town, traveling through, but I'd love to come by the shop and hang out for a couple hours. And if anyone's got anything to sign, I'll sign it for free. Just by him being there, let alone like without any money exchanging hands, brought more people into the shop because they wanted to meet him. And that in turn turned into sales for the shop. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so having this guy there would done the same thing. I think this is just a case of a greedy shop owner. I don't care how big I get or how small. I'm never going to charge anyone for a signature. Todd McFarlane didn't even charge people for signature when he was at the fucking Calgary Expo. You know what I mean?
Everyone, did you guys watch that new documentary with Todd McFarlane?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yep.
Oh, it was so good. But he was just saying, like, one thing everyone loves about Todd is that he will spend so much time with his fans. And he's like, yeah, but without them, I wouldn't have been able to do this.
Yep.
Well, that's what it's an unwritten rule in the industry. It's two different ways. It's if you're, an A-list actor, it's like, I'm giving my time because I know it's going to help you and I know it's going to promote you, and I don't want any money from it. I don't want a dime from it. It's because you brought me in. You paid the money to bring me in, and I am now giving my free will charity to everyone to help promote you. So you can be like, oh, look at, Minnesota, blah, 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 or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. And that's how you get it, right? You're in the newspaper, you're on the news, you're doing that because it's already a written rule. Then you have the other part of the industry where it's like, yeah, I need you to pay for my limo, my bus, my time, my this, and I need to have a cut from that as well. Because again, they're like, hey, I could have been in Barbados doing a music video shoot for the same amount of money I'm doing a shoot for you in wherever you are. So it is a twofold type deal in the industry, and you just don't have enough people who say, hey, I'm coming to your town just to sign books because I grew up here. My love for my homies, in this town, and I'm gonna do it for free. So it's a rock and a hard place. It's a rock and a hard place.
Yes. All I got to say here is that it's probably a pretty bad thing what this person is doing right
now. For that shop.
I mean, the guy is obviously giving his time and free signatures and stuff.
Yeah, and like what Larry said, like if I saw that as the advertisement, I'd be like, it's just not even worth it that day to go in the comic book store. But if they're just like, hey, Jason Fabich's here, he's hanging out, I'm just like, frick, I love that guy, and I'm just gonna come in, and then I'll probably talk with him, and then I'll probably, as I'm walking, I'll be like, well, that comic book looks good, and then I'm gonna spend the money. You just need to get people into the comic book shop. There's enough good content in there that they'll buy it, but you don't have to charge like $75 to do it. It's
well, why do you think they do free comic book day, right?
Exactly.
They do free comic book day. They get all these people who come in for the free books,
Exactly.
but 9 times out of 10, they're also probably going to buy something on their way out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're absolutely right.
When I was a teenager, I worked at a comic book shop, and we had a few local artists. They'd come in and sign books and do the little thing and stuff like that. But usually we just paid them so much for the day to kind of show up because they were local and we didn't have to put them up anywhere. And then what they would do is at the end of the day, they would sign a bunch of books for us, like whatever was on the shelf and, whatever was new. And we would just put them out there, and we sold them for cover price because we knew we'd be able to sell them because they were signed.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how we did it. But what, I don't know. It's a new dawn. I guess people just want to make as much money as possible.
Yeah,
and
but
they probably feel like
sad.
they're in the dumps and I don't know.
Poo-poo on you.
Yeah.
I mean, you work with Tom McFarlane, so you know how kind he is.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Todd's got millions of dollars, so he can do that.
That's the celebrity I'm talking about. That's the one that's like, hey man.
But I mean, he's a super nice guy. I mean, I loved working for him. He was. But yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of money, but of course, it took a lot of signing and doing things for free that got him to that point. So he doesn't have to charge for a signature anymore, really.
My milkshake brings of the both
that'd be nice, right? That's how you know if you're really struggling. You're like, okay, please, I need like $100 per signature. You go, oh, you're not doing as well.
It's like Virgil from the WWE, and he's like in Subway with his little table set up and his 8x10 photos. Looking to charge $20 per picture.
Is that real?
WWE. Oh yeah, dude.
I feel bad for those guys.
Josh 318, by the way, $1.99. Thank you so much. Says I'm working on an animated short for my comic. That's
Sweet.
cool. See, a lot of people are just doing really cool things right now. Winnie Gale saying, check out the Kickstarter Ungodly Champion. The animated video is amazing. Yeah, there's just your guys' video was good. I think right now we're seeing that because there's so many indies coming, so many more people coming into the game. You're like, flip, I really gotta set myself out with either a good video, a good concept, good art. I'm a superstar person, or my marketing. It's I don't know. It's intense.
Also we got a little short movie that we did with Verse Films. It's called Skits Meets Mr. Chair, and it's a story right out of the comic book. People can go over on our YouTube channel and check that out. It's about 5-6 minutes long. So that's another thing that we did. We're like, let's do something different. Let's actually film a scene from the book,
Oh, geez,
Yeah, get that different medium. We did an intro into skits. So it's just a lot of stuff. We did a lot of asylum sort of shorts as well, where I'm interviewing skits. He's in a straight jacket. He's in the full get up, the full, straight, asylum, deal, and you don't know, you're like, this guy really is kind of crazy, right? So I'm like, yep. But these are the different things that you want to do to set yourself apart, as well as help somebody else. Be like, hey, I have a production, can we help you guys? Or it's like, hey, we have this, can we do that? So yeah, shout out to you, Verse Films. Thank you very much.
Boom. All right, guys. Well, we've hit the hour. We're past an hour. We've hit the hour 9-minute mark. We had a silly goose time, guys. Thank you so much, Michael and Karshina. I didn't get your name wrong once.
No, because you said it 3 times before.
You made me say it 3 times before the stream, just so I made sure I got it right. Thank you, Larry, for co-hosting with me. Thanks for being here, man.
Oh, dude,
Thanks,
I wasn't expecting it. He's just like, hey, come on the show. And I'm like, but I'm topless. But okay.
But we have that straight jacket for you.
That's right.
Exactly.
It looks warm.
All right, let's do one final skits pitch, because that's what we're here for. I'm putting the link, guys, in the chat. Go check this out. Bring us out, guys. Tell us about skits and why we should back this book.
Okay, Skits. Book 1 is a book about a guy who can't tell the difference between his dreams and reality. And I got to tell you, The book that you want to get, the tier that you want to get is that 3-book journey. Not only does it have 3 books, it has 3 variant covers, 3 variant stories. No one else is doing that. Let me say that again. 3 variant stories. That's exactly what you want to get. And it's all wrapped, signed, and numbered in a nice little special skits band specifically for you. I mean, this is all the love. It's all the goodies. It's everything you could possibly want. This is exactly what you want to get. So go over there and back skits today.
Boom. Mic drop. Thanks, guys, so much for being on the show. Where can people find you guys on the social medias?
At Skits Comic for Michael. For me, I'm at Karshina J, or come_get_some_2. That's come get some too. And if you guys want to shout out on our YouTube channel as well, Skits YouTube, Skits Comic YouTube, where you can, say hey to us, shout out to us if you have something. Come on
we're
up.
Drawing, we're doing shows just like this. We're talking about stuff. Come say hey.
And if you have a book, you both are invited. You're always welcome.
Yeah, come on.
Larry,
Come on,
you're always welcome. Tyler C. So if you got your spaghetti straps ready to go, we can get you on there as well. So we love to promote you as well.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Lots of big things coming up for everyone. It sounds great.
Larry, where can people find you?
Under a dumpster somewhere, probably half naked and drunk. No,
do you have a good time at least?
Dude, it sounds like a great now. It's like Hangover 4, No, Niobe Comic on the twatter. If you want to twat at me, sometimes I'll twat back. Rebel Gaming XXX on the YouTube and the Twitch. And if you want to pick up Niobe Birthright Part 1 before we get into the Kickstarter, gumroad.com/Niobe Comics is the place for that.
All right, guys, I put Larry's YouTube channel in the chat, and I'm putting in his Gumroad as well. Verse Film Production saying we backed the 3-book journey. That's awesome.
There
and
you
then,
go,
guys,
brother.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Tyler, Draw and Talk. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We'll have another episode on Thursday, and it's called the 5 things that you don't want to do as a creative, but you have to. We're going to talk about things like the fact that you have to have a website or have to have social media and just all the full-time crap that you don't want to do. You have to fulfill a book, and that's going to take you away from drawing. It's going to take you away from writing and drawing, and that sucks. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys on Thursday, and we'll see you guys next week for a good show.
Where is
Bye. Thanks, Tyler.